from ABC Sports. College football. From the Pac-10, the Washington Huskies and the Southern California Trojans.
O.J. Simpson, first down and more. Griffin on the sideline, he's got it.
Elway, he goes over the middle and a quick touchdown. Aikman's pass is good to Reggie Moore. Moore's on his way. Touchdown, no flag. It is a summer-like day in Los Angeles. There, a view of downtown as the Santa Ana winds have blown in and raised the temperature from the high 60s to the high 80s. So it will be warm for the Washington Huskies out of the Northwest, Seattle, against the Southern California Trojans. This, their 61st meeting, and the Cardinal and Gold now coming out of the tunnel. Here are the Trojans, ranked 3rd in the nation. The Washington Huskies, wearing the white, ranked 16th in the nation. Their only loss to UCLA in a very tough ball game played in Seattle a couple of weeks ago. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to college football on ABC Sports. Bob Greasy, let's talk about the Washington quarterback situation, where their fine quarterback, Perry Conklin, dislocated the tip of the thumb on his right hand, his throwing hand, in practice Wednesday.
He did, and there was a lot of concern in Washington about that injury. And watching him in practice warming up, it didn't seem to be bothering him at all. Normally, when you sprain or dislocate a finger, it's better to do one of the 4 digits away from the thumb. He's done the thumb, and that's the only thing to hold the ball on that side of the football. But I don't think it's going to bother him that much. What I think is key for Washington today in winning this football game are their special teams. They have some of the best special teams in the Pac-10. Washington has a good teams. USC, on the other hand, and Larry Smith has admitted, our teams are not that good. In fact, he said, our special teams are the worst that I've ever had in the years I've been coaching.
But he has another problem. He has to go deep into the chest of tailbacks because numbers 1, 2, and 3 are hurt. Now he goes to 4, 5, and 6.
Well, it's almost, for Southern Cal, been running back by committee this year, and that puts more pressure on Rodney Peete. The key for Southern Cal today, when your running backs go down, the good players step forward, and Rodney Peete is a great player, and it's got to be a good day for Rodney for them to win today without the running backs.
That's right, but young man starting at tailback, Scott Lockwood is a sophomore, but remember, as a freshman, he started in the Rose Bowl for USC, so he is not exactly green. Yesterday, there was a pep rally in the neighborhood for the Trojans. Yep, they have those in Los Angeles, too. The marching band was there, and so was inside linebacker coach Tom Rogerman.
We need your help. We need the band's help. Yeah. We need the Silk's help. We need the cheerleaders' help. We need the song girls' help. And we need each and every one of you that are sitting out here looking up this way right now. We need your damn help, so get your butts in the stadium and cheer, cheer.
ABC's College Football is brought to you by Honda, who invite you to test drive the Accord LXI 4-door sedan at your local Honda dealership today. By the On-Time Machine, American Airlines, something special in the air. By UPS, we deliver to every address in the U.S. and to 41 countries worldwide. And by the U.S. Armed Forces, it's a great place to start.
Very bright, warm day in Southern California for this 61st meeting. Deep for Washington, Steve Jones, 31, William Doctor, number 10, and kicking off for Southern California will be number 31, Mark Preston. This a key game in the Pac-10. It is a short kick. Bounces at the 15, rolls around. The Huskies have to cover it. William Doctor falling down on it at the 16. So the kick was so short, it worked out well for USC. Mike Adamley now.
Keith, one offensive dimension Southern California has not shown too much of so far this season is throwing the long ball. We know Rodney Peete can throw, but he hasn't really aired it out. Talking to some of their assistant coaches before the game, they think they can beat Washington deep. It'll be something to look for.
The Huskies come up, and they go double wide to the bottom of the picture, trying to spread the Southern California defense. And the pitch goes to Weathersby. Vince Weathersby, the tailback, gets to the line of scrimmage and picks up 1 yard. The Huskies start out this way in their offensive alignment. At quarterback, Terry Conklin, Aaron Jenkins, the fullback, and Vince Weathersby, the tailback. Ryan Slater and Scott Fitzgerald are the wideouts. Kilpack, good tight end. Jones, Kirkland, Brosteck, Weesey, and Zandowski. That's a very big offensive front. Second down and 9 for Washington. Fumbled on the snap. That sore thumb may have something to do with it, because, Bob, you take a whacking when that ball snapped back into your hand by the center.
No question.
Tim Ryan, Don Gibson, Dan Owens. 3 down for USC with Williams, Ross, Tulio, and Hartsacker, the Packers, in the secondary, and it's getting better and better every week. Hale, Coulter, Carrier, and Spear. They actually gained a couple of yards on the fumble. It's 3rd down and 7. Aaron Pierce, number 84, is in at tight end. He becomes a wideout as they flex him to the top of the picture. And out of the shotgun, Conklin gives the ball to Weathersby. He spins it inside, gets across the 20, up to about the 22. And that'll do it for the Huskies as Scott Ross spills from his inside backer position and makes the tackle. Last year, Washington at home lost to SC by 14. So in 3 downs, they don't pick up their first down, and they'll now have to punt it away with Eric Kenton coming in to kick it for the Huskies. He's averaging 37 yards per punt this year. The deep man for Southern California is Cleveland Coulter, and the Trojans should come out of this with very good field position. Not a very good kick. Bounces on the Washington side of the field, comes back toward the Husky goal line, and it's finally down by Washington at the 44. It was only a 23-yard punt. So here's a golden opportunity in their first offensive series for Southern California.
I think you're seeing a little bit of some nerves on the part of the Washington Huskies. That punt was not a good punt at all, and Southern Cal takes over inside the Husky 50-yard line.
44-yard line, and they come out with a double tight end alignment. Scott Galbraith and Martin Chesley. They're tight ends. There's contact along the line of scrimmage and penalty flags on the first snap of the ball game. Pat Flood is the referee.
Dead ball, false start on the offense. Repeat, first down.
So the Trojans show some nerves. Make a mistake on the first snap. Pete, the quarterback. Leroy Holt at fullback. Scott Lockwood starting at tailback. Jackson and Affolter wide. Up front, Galbraith the tight end. Guerrero, Barnes, Leggett, Tucker, and Brent Parkinson is starting at right tackle today, coming off knee surgery. And he's up against Dennis Brown, who is the big hitter for the Washington defensive front. And on 1st and 15, Pete under pressure, gets loose. Lets it go deep. And it is incomplete. Down under the ball was Gary Wellman and covered by Burkhalter. And the reason that play didn't work was when they flushed Pete out of the pocket, that exposed the whole thing, and the Husky secondary retreated in a hurry.
Well, you were just talking about Dennis Brown. As we take a look at a disgusted Larry Smith, he thought maybe pass interference. But Dennis Brown pressuring Rodney Pete. He gets outside the pocket, and that's one of the things that Pete can do, turn a busted play into a big play, and that time was just a long incompletion.
So it is 2nd down and 15. Pete throws, tight end, hits him on the hands, but Galbraith hit instantly by Burkhalter again, the free safety, and the pass is incomplete. So the Trojans will be looking at 3rd and 15. Up front for the Huskies, also a 3-man front. It's Brown, Colbus back from injury, and Bob Willig with Harrison, Fraley, Andrews, and Collins making up a young linebacking core. Lilo Lang, Eric Briscoe, Eugene Burkhalter, and Tony Zachary, the defensive secondary. And on that bunch, Burkhalter was outstanding in the game we saw them against UCLA. So it's 3rd and 15 for Southern California. Pete Pete's got all day down the middle, drills it, and the pass is caught by guess who? John Jackson. John Jackson surfaced last week as a star in the ball game because they're starting to double Apholder now, and that leaves Jackson down the middle.
In fact, Jackson caught 7 passes last week and for 2 touchdowns. At time, the protection was good, allowing Pete to wait for Jackson. Jackson ran a deep square in and the first down of the ball game.
So on 3rd and 15, they get 16 and a first down at the 33 of Washington. Just getting underway. Broken play. Pete turns it and goes down, and the ball comes loose, and Washington recovers the fumble.
Well, Dennis Brown, number 79, who comes home to L.A., he's from this area and has not been playing well. Here's Brown. Now watch him as he follows Rodney down the line. He'll slap at the ball to get the fumble. Nobody boxed Brown. He follows him down. Watch him hit him right there. The ball comes out, and a big turnover for the Huskies.
Bounced right into Chico Fraley's arm, the inside linebacker, and the Huskies now hold the ball just short of their 35. Let's see here if Conklin tests the sore hand. Little short swing pass out for Weathersby, and he fights his way up to around the 37-yard line. Weathersby is also from the Los Angeles area. He is a senior. Pickup of about 3 yards. 2nd down and 7. Don James is the senior coach in the Pac-10 conference. Today, if his Huskies can win this game, he will tie John McKay with 70 Pac-10 wins, which is the most of any coach active in the conference. That's Slater going in motion for Washington on 2nd down and 7. Conklin pitches to Weathersby, runs to the wide side of the field. He is cut down behind the line of scrimmage, and the referee, Pat Flood, threw a penalty flag. Chris Hale came up from the wide side from his defensive back position, cornerback, and brought him down. And it's clipping against the Huskies. Don James talking about how he hoped his offense would go this week and what he had in mind against the Southern California defense.
Our long suit has been to get the inside game established, a trapping game, and we've got a play action off of that, and we've got, we've now got a flip and an option play together. We got another way to get outside rather than the option. And off the quick flip, we can come back and run another type of trap that you saw go pretty well against UCLA.
But a big mistake by the Huskies here.
Watch the clipping. Watch right here. Let's go ahead and run it, and we'll stop it right. Go ahead and run it. This is the legal clipping zone. Watch 79 right there. You see him with the clip, but that's in the legal clipping zone.
Conklin keeps the ball, runs the option, turns the corner, gets up to about the 21 before he is decked by Cleveland Bolter, who is the strong safety. Mark Carrier is the free safety. And you can go back to USC's win over Oklahoma, where those two were really outstanding.
They were outstanding. Let me go back to that clipping, what I mentioned, Keith. The clipping zone is from tackle to tackle, offensive tackle to defensive tackle, and 3 yards either side of the line of scrimmage. And that was a pull right down the line of scrimmage. And called a clip by Pat Flood, our referee.
With the ball from the 26 on 3rd and 19 for Washington. Second possession for the Huskies. Conklin out of the shotgun, has time, throws with some zip on it, and hits his man across the 45 for a Husky first down. It's Brian Slater. Slater is a good-sized target, 6'4", 195 from Lake Stevens, Washington.
An outstanding throw by Conklin. He's a junior. He is the only starting quarterback in the Pac-10 this year that is not returning from last year. All other 9 ball clubs have their starting quarterbacks back. I've been very impressed with this young man, Keith. Our game up at Washington between UCLA, I was very impressed.
A big play there for a first down at the 46. Drops it. Coming off the snap, the ball came out. That's the second time that Conklin has fumbled it, and this time the Trojans get it. So the sore thumb perhaps shows up for the second time in the ball game.
You know, the center, who is Brian Brostek, had a man right on his nose, and sometimes when you have a man on your nose, a defensive man, you try to snap the ball and get into your block a little bit too quickly. And whatever it is, take another look. Watch the center from a low angle. Brostek, number 60. That ball is low. It's even his bottom hand. The ball is supposed to hit on your top hand, your right hand. The center is supposed to hit the top of his butt with the ball. That center was low. He was blocking too soon, and it was the center's fault. See, I think that for those centers, those quarterbacks.
Once again, USC has the ball to start a series on the Washington side of the field. From the 46, carrying is Leroy Holt, the fullback, and he weaves in there for close to 4 yards. Larry Smith yesterday had this comment about how he thought he would like to try to go against Washington's defense.
Well, I think that we've got to mix it up. We've been running our fullback a lot more because we've got two good fullbacks, Leroy Holt and Jeff Brown. So we'll probably mix it up more with the fullback and the tailback. Maybe run a little bit more out of split backs. We want to throw the ball. Again, we're a multifaceted offense, and Rodney Peete is a great weapon, and he's shown a lot of snap in his arm the last couple of weeks, and we're going to give him a chance to air it out a little bit.
Scott Lockwood, the tailback, as the Trojans decide to run it in this series, picks up a first down, but a penalty flag comes floating into the area, and you get a holding call against USC. So far, it has been a game of errors.
Errors and mistakes. Notre Dame jumps out on top of Miami in the second quarter, 14-7. That's a surprise, huh, Keith?
Holding on the offense, 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat second down.
Not especially to me, but that is a surprise. That is really a surprise. Wow, 31-0 Tech. That Nebraska is just killing Oklahoma State, too, so that's a little bit of a surprise. Indiana continuing along, leading comfortably at halftime in the Big Ten. We're going to see them next week at Michigan. So that penalty backs them up. They're on their own side of the field as Peete gets in trouble, weaves his way out of it, takes off upfield, and Dennis Brown claims him at the Washington 49-yard line. Brown is 6'4". He weighs 296. They list him at 305, but he says he has lost weight due to hard work.
Well, he says he has lost weight. He says he feels good. He says he's more mobile and agile. And he has, in all his words, says, maybe I'm not hostile enough. And he thought maybe coming home to L.A. with a lot of family and friends here at the stadium today, he would get on after it. And he certainly has in the first quarter so far.
So it's third down and 13 now from the 49 of Washington. 8.5 minutes to go in the first period. No score. Peete on a rollout. Gets it off to the sidelines, and the pass is incomplete. And did he catch it? Did he catch it?
He says he got his feet down. You couldn't see from their main angle.
Affolter, you know, he's a miracle man on tough plays, and you never count him out. Look at it from this angle, and we can clearly define it for you. So he's right on the chalk.
Nicely done.
Tiptoed in. And it's close enough to the first down to bring home the chain.
Affolter is the leading receiver for the Trojans coming into this ball game with 31 receptions.
Well, who can ever forget the catch he made in the corner last year against UCLA? Catch that they're still arguing about.
They are arguing about it, and they refer to it in LA as the catch.
I think Lilo Lang thought he was going to be out of bounds because he seemed to sort of give up on the play. But it is a first down for the Washington Huskies. They picked up exactly 10 on it for the USC Trojans on the Husky 36. And Rodney Peete goes back to the running game, gives to the fullback Holt, and Holt will wiggle in there for a couple of yards. Now let's pick up Al Trotwig from our studio in New York.
Keith, good afternoon. You remember 1984 when Navy stopped South Carolina's 9-game winning streak. Today, Georgia Tech provides the upset, 34-0. Todd Ellis with 4 interceptions, the quarterback for South Carolina. Another rough day. Back to you.
Here they call USC tailback U, and for good reason. There's one of the reasons right there. And as Bob said early on, it's been tailback by committee. with Scott Lockwood starting today in the absence of Urbans, Webster, and the man who started the season, Emmanuel. And it's Lockwood with the ball, the sophomore from Boulder, Colorado. And he's got a couple of yards to bring up 3rd and long. That's Steve Webster there, the quickest of the quick. But he's dinged up. He had knee surgery, was late to get back.
He's out now with a hip injury. We showed that graphic just before that play of the Southern Cal averaging more than 150 yards per carry, and none of those men are ranked in the top 10 rushers in the Pac-10. So it's the position and not the player.
3rd and a long 5. Rodney Peete back in the face of Big Dennis Brown, gets it away, and it looks like on the catch they're going to give him a good mark inside the 26. And if they mark him there, Lockwood's going to have a first down.
Take a look at 79, Dennis Brown to the right side of your screen. Blocking him is Tucker, 75. He does an arm over and gets into the face of Peete, but he gets rid of it. I have to say that Brown is having himself quite a game so far here in the first quarter.
One of the things, though, that you should remember, that it's very warm down on that field today. The Huskies do come from Seattle, but they were conditioned last week in the game at Tempe when the temperature was around 100 degrees on the field. So probably will benefit from the fact that they played in hot conditions last week. It's tough to come out of 50, 60 degree weather and walk into this big old house and play in 95 degrees.
It's the humidity, it's the dry heat that gets you. And although there's not a lot of humidity here, there is the stifling heat, not stifling today, but certainly can take it out of you if you're used to cooler weather.
On first down, Peete gives the ball to Lockwood, and he goes right up the pipe. And he crosses the 20 to the 19. Picks up 7 yards before Ricky Andrews can bring him down. We're at 6:20 to go in the first quarter. No score. A lot of mistakes early on in this ball game. Both teams turning it over. Washington twice.
Husky defense shut out Arizona Arizona State last week, and it's an improving defense. They played very tough against UCLA 2 weeks ago.
Holt and Lockwood behind Peete. And it's Lockwood, and he's caught first by number 56, Martin Harrison. Looked like got in there and got a piece of him. Number 58, Travis Richardson, sophomore from Olympia, the principal tackler, however. So it'll be 3rd down and 5 for USC. Ball is just inside the Washington 21. Notre Dame is now out 21-7 over number 1 ranked Miami. UCLA could move up to number 1 themselves with a victory today against California. Rodney Peete rolling around. Want to go down this time. Oh, he won't either. Oh, they finally got him. Chased him and chased him and chased him, and finally Darrell Hall, in as the nickelback in the strong safety position, finally got Rodney Peete, and he got him way back upfield to take him out of field goal range at the Washington 49.
Coming in, Washington wanted to contain Rodney Peete, not let him get outside and make some big plays on the scramble. He tried to go to his right. He was not able to. Harrison, number 56, was there. He tries to get away, and finally, Hall, number 40, brings him down. Good defense.
A loss of 28 yards on the play. William Doctor is deep. Chris Burrell to front for USC. Spins it downfield. Doctor will make the catch at the 13 and thrown out of bounds around the 15. At 4 minutes and 18 seconds to play in the first quarter, we have no score at the Coliseum in Los Angeles.
The winner of the Washington-USC game has gone to the Rose Bowl 11 out of the last 16 years.
Al Trautwig in New York. 49 points is more points than Oklahoma State has ever given up in the first half of a football game. Nebraska has 4 touchdowns and big plays over 40 yards. They're leading big over the Cowboys at the half. Keith?
All right, Al, thanks very much. A lot of folks around the Big 8 country thought that the Cowboys might be up to giving the Huskers a bit of a tussle this year. Doesn't seem so, does it?
Nebraska put an exclamation point on that, didn't it?
Greg Lewis at tailback, Tony Covington, fullback for the Huskies from the 15. They've been backed up so far. They have not had very good field position. Give it away to Lewis, who may be the quicker of the Husky running back. And Greg won't get much on that carry.
Lewis is the speed in that offensive backfield for Washington. Not a lot of speed on this ball club. Very physical, very big. Don James said that 2 years ago when they went to the Sun Bowl and played Alabama, that they recognized that they didn't have enough speed. He has tried to recruit more speed, and Lewis is one of those guys he brought in to get him some speed.
Conklin goes to his tailback again, and it's just blast play over the right side, and nothing there for him. He's short of the 20-yard line, put him down on the 18. So they're going to need 3rd down and 7. The Boilers make a comeback against Ohio State to lead by 2.
Boilers are strong.
Say what?
I can't brag on them too often this year. I got to do it when I can.
Florida Gators, of course, playing without Emmett Smith and Kyle Morris and a couple of others. They got dinged up last week in the ball game, and they lose to Vandy. Conklin hands it away to the fullback, Aaron Jenkins, and Jenkins is going to be held short of the 1st down as penalty flags are again on the field. Holding Husker. Let me set the rest of the officials for you. John Pemberton's the umpire. Dale Newhouse, the head linesman. Charles Rubin, the line judge. Field judge is Dick Schnell. Side judge Gary Hurst. Dan Hill is the back judge. And Charles Stewart, the
offense, decline, 4th down.
Trojans say no to the penalty. They want the Huskies to punt it away, and now they will as Eric Kenton, sophomore out of Port Orchard, comes into the ball game, and Cleveland Coulter will drop deep again for USC. 3 minutes to play in the 1st quarter. USC now, both possessions have started in Washington territory. They've run 13 plays. They've used 6.5 minutes, and they have produced no point. And they have a possibility here of their 3rd possession starting in Washington territory, unless Canton hits a better punt than he did the last time. And it is a better kick. Got this one to turn over. Coulter, fair catch at the Trojan 42. 34-yard punt, no score. It is tradition here at USC that on the practice area, after practice, the band and cheerleaders go out and whoop it up a bit for the team the day before the game. That's the way it was yesterday at Cromwell Field. Right now, the Trojans have been a bit lethargic. So has Washington, for that matter. And Brett Parkinson is out now, and Darrell Marshall comes in at the right tackle position. They want to play Parkinson back into shape. He has not played so far this season. Rodney Peete, a little swing out to Scott Lockwood, the tailback. Huskies react very well to the play. And they stop him right about the line of scrimmage. Ricky Andrews, the right inside backer, a senior from Hawaii, brought him down.
Washington likes a physical game. They want a defensive game, a low-scoring game, and if they can get their defense to play as well as they have in the last 2 weeks, they feel like they're going to have a good shot at winning this ball game. And so far, as you mentioned, with both SC possessions starting inside Washington's 50-yard line, they have played very well.
He'll get a yard on the last carry. On the spot, make it 2nd down and 9. Peete gives it to Lockwood, and there's no place for Lockwood to go. And the man who made the play was big number 79, Dennis Brown. He's been a one-man wrecking crew. He's playing today like Terry Donahue was worried he might play against his team 2 weeks ago. He has been a dominant force along the line of scrimmage.
Well, he's an Outland Trophy candidate for the best lineman in the country, but has not played that well up until this 1st quarter. He led the Pac-10 in tackles for losses last year. He's playing like that in this ball game so far.
3rd and 9. Peete with time. Down the middle. Jackson shakes a couple. Short of the 1st down. John Jackson, not the biggest guy in town at 5'11", 180, but he took a couple of licks there, Lilo Lang included, shook him off, and it took a third man to bring him down. It'll bring up 4th and 3. So Chris Pearl is in for his second punt of the day at 49 seconds to go in the first quarter. Doctor is deep for Washington. Low kick. Didn't go out of bounds on the first bounce, and the Trojans wind up with a break on it as it finally dribbles out at the Husky 17. First down for the Washington Huskies, just outside their own 17. The average starting position for Washington in its possessions have been their own 21-yard line. Southern California averages at the Washington 49. Still no score. This the last play, probably, of the first quarter. Terry Conklin back. Sets up and lets it go. And Brian Slater can't come down with it as Chris Hale defends well. Chris Hale is only 5'9". Slater is 6'4". And Chris just climbed up there and spoiled it.
Well, watch Hale, as you mentioned, only 5'9". He beats Slater to the ball. He sees it, jumps as high as Slater, who doesn't get off the ground very well. That was a well-designed play. Single coverage, no man in the middle, and that could have been a big play if Slater could have come down with the ball, but Hale makes the play.
Well, the incomplete pass leaves us 18 seconds to go in the first quarter, and Conklin turns, hands the ball to Jenkins, and Jenkins is absolutely eaten up by number 53. That's Delmar Chesley, a junior from Washington, D.C. And that'll do it for the first period. So it's been an error-filled, almost lethargic first quarter with no score. We go now to the second quarter. It's 3rd down and 9. Washington from their own 18-yard line. No score in the ball game. And Terry Conklin is back in the shotgun. Gets it away and dropped by Weathersby. Pass was low, and he wouldn't have had his first down anyway because there were a couple of Trojans ready to jump his bones, including Ernie Spears. So it'll be 4th down, and the numbers off the first quarter of play.
Not much there, Keith. The only thing that jumps out at you is the rushing yards for SC, which is -10. But you have to consider that includes that 28-yard loss that Rodney Peete had on that one sack.
But if you discount that, the Trojans still average only 2.2.
That's what he's doing. Good job shutting the run down.
Canton gets it out. Not a bad kick, and this time he gets a favorable bounce, and it goes just across midfield. 33-yard punt. Neither kicker really selling himself yet. On ABC's NFL Monday Night Football, the Buffalo Bills, who have been a bit of a surprise to some this year, against the New York Jets. The Bills sitting on top of the pack in the AFC East. The Jets are in second, and it's a key ball game. 9 Eastern time next Monday night here on ABC Sports. Jim Kelly and company. Here's Jenny, James, Don and Carol's daughter, who's one of the Husky cheerleaders. All right, from just outside their 49, USC goes to work. Pete still got it, getting pursuit from Dennis Brown, and now he's got some open area to work. Gets his pass off downfield. It is caught and dropped by Holt. Leroy Holt took a lick from Eugene Burkhalter. I mean, that 200-pound sophomore from Long Beach just totaled Leroy Holt, who is a junior from Carson. And that's two big men running together.
Well, when you give Pete, first of all, watch Dennis Brown, 79, putting the heat on, but there's no way Brown at 290 is going to catch Rodney Peete. Big trouble now for the Huskies if Pete's outside the pocket. He finds Holt, but Burkhalter at the bottom of your screen sees it and knocks it loose before he has possession. Nice call.
Come on,
on, alumni. Come on now. Big hit.
That is a wacko. Boy.
Burkhalter, they told us he's going to be an outstanding player.
Well, he was outstandingly so against the Bruins. There's a fumble as Lockwood carries the ball, and he covers it as the ball apparently bounced right back to him. But he lost it clearly as he went through traffic.
Ricky Andrews, number 55, causes the fumble. Right there, watch, there's 55 Andrews. He knocks it loose. Right there, he grabs his right hand and the ball comes loose. I think Lockwood got back on it before the Husky got on it.
Got a decent gain out of it, too. Third and about 4. Affolter in motion. Feet back. Gets it away to Affolter, and it's a first down at the 34-yard line of Washington, and here's Al Trautwig.
Keith, the Big Ten race to the Rose Bowl is tightening. Illinois has won, Indiana is winning, and so is Iowa. Chuck Hartley to Marv Cook, 5 yards and a first-quarter lead over the Wolverines.
I was driving down to Indianapolis last week after the Indiana Ohio State game, and I listened to Hayden Fry's post-game news conference, and Hayden hummed and hawed some, and then he said, well, we're starting to do some things pretty good.
He's got Michigan at home, too.
Rodney Peete chased by Brown. Brown can't catch him. Pete's got room. First down. Picked up 11 yards.
Look, 79 is Dennis Brown again at the right side, just does that arm over and gets in there. Again, an unfair foot race when you've got Pete, who's got great speed, and Dennis Brown. So Pete does so many things for you. Probably the best athlete, pure athlete, playing quarterback in the nation.
That's the first running first down of the game for Southern California. The ball is at the Washington 23. It's Lockwood. Good block on the left side. Lockwood is hit so hard, his helmet comes flying out, and guess who? Eugene Burkhalter. Woo! He's laying some lumber on folks.
Well, they said that this Washington team defensively is a physical, tough team, and they are. You've seen it, Burkhalter with a couple hellacious hits so far. Brown playing a great game.
Calvin Holmes has come into the ball game, replacing Lockwood. There's number 21, Burkhalter, hitting him, and Lockwood has to go out to get a new chin strap, get helmet repair. It's second down and 2 with Holmes in there, and he's got the ball, and he's a burner. And he's down to about the 12. You give this fella a crack, and it's see you later, because he was running 10,500 meters in high school. And he broke out last week, really for the first time, and turned in a couple of sizzling runs. So they, with 3 tailbacks hurt, are running this week 4, 5, and the 6th man would be Mazio Royster, a freshman out of Pomona, 6'2", 185. I don't think they really want to play him unless they get back into the corner.
But Calvin Holmes is a redshirt freshman, and as you were mentioning, the 5th running back that Southern Cal has used already this year.
See, Rutgers won again over beat Boston College. Pittsburgh bouncing back. They move the change. First down, Southern California at the Washington 12. Last 4 carries now. USC has picked up 28 yards on the ground. Lockwood is back in at tailback for SC. And he's got it. And behind the offensive surge is down to the 9. Jeff Colvis, a 275-pound sophomore from Freeland, Washington, anchoring the middle of the defensive front at nose guard, made the stop. He's been hurt. They have missed him. Well, Columbia's party didn't last too long, did it?
Second down,
Second down and 7, just short of the 9. Lockwood again running up the middle. Big block inside the 5, down close to the 2. And it's Burkhalter making the tackle for Washington.
Tucker, number 75, is going to pull from his right guard position. See the opening inside, and good read. Slips up inside. Nice run, nice blocking.
Checking for the first down. Just short.
It'll be 3rd and inches.
So it'll be 3rd down at about a foot. Maybe less for USC. The ball is very near the Washington 2. Goal line defense comes in. Willig checks back in.
University of Southern California came into this game leading the Pac-10 in 3rd down conversions.
Pete keeps it.
Rodney Pete, the ball carrier.
And seemingly would have his first down. Wolverines have picked up 3 in their ball game. That's in the first quarter. Next week, UCLA at Arizona and Indiana at Michigan. Our games for you. Check your local listings. That is Indiana-Michigan game is going to have a lot to do with which team wins that conference championship. First and goal for Southern California. Look at this. Miami has bounced back. It's now even at 21 against Notre Dame.
Notre Dame comes out here later in the year to play Southern Cal. I think they're worrying about that at this point already.
From the 2, first and goal, Trojans. Brown checks into the backfield. They're lucky they didn't get a flag there because I thought 2 men were moving before the ball was actually snapped, but they got away with it as Pete kept it and tried to dive in.
Well, the center just snaps it. The rest of the line don't move, just the center and Pete. They try to pull a little quick snap on the defense. Doesn't get in. He left everybody else not move, just the center and he. And obviously they had seen something in the film preparing this week that they thought that might work.
That's an old Nebraska trick. Yep. Used to do that when Dave Remington was center. Nebraska. Second down and goal. Leroy Holt, touchdown. Trojans. Point has been a bit of a soap opera for Southern California this season. Let's see what happens today as Spurl will hold. Quinn Rodriguez will kick. And Scott Fryer, the snapper. And it's good, and it's 7-0 USC. Well, Southern California finally getting a 7-0 lead, Bob. Is this now meaning that the Trojans have come awake?
Well, they've had good field position on all 4 possessions, so they finally did waken up. But I think that Washington defense has been playing very well. I just think that Washington's offense has to open up a little bit. They've been very conservative, and I think being on the road, being even at 0 is not a bad idea.
Well, they're playing 3 at home, 3 on the road, and 3 at home, which is...
not the way you'd like to do it.
No, sir. USC kicks off. Again, it's a very short kickoff. My goodness, all the way up to the 19-yard line. William Doctor, and he brings it back to about the 28 or 29. The Honda Scholar athlete this week Proudly presented by Honda, and the award goes to Tim Jordan, a senior tight end from Indiana. He was a very prominent figure in the Hoosiers' 41 win over Ohio State last week. He caught 4 balls for 53 yards, holds on all the extra points and field goals, has a 3.26 grade point in finance, and Honda will present a check for $2,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of Indiana University. The Huskies start this possession with Lewis and Covington as the setbacks. Conklin throws, ball batted down at the line of scrimmage, and a penalty flag thrown by the referee. It was Dan Owens that got his hands on it.
It's going to be holding on Kirkland, the left guard. Let's take a look at how good the Southern Cal defense is. They lead the Pac-10 in 5 different categories: total defense, rushing, passing, scoring, and interception. So that's what young Terry Conklin is going against this afternoon.
I accept the fact readily that Rodney Peete is one of the best athletes playing any position in college football this year. Readily. But I think the real foundation strength of this Southern California football team is its defense.
No question about that. And Rodney gets a lot of the attention and publicity. He's a very nice young man, a very outgoing young man, and does a lot of the interviews, but he'll be the first to tell you that the defense is carrying the team.
After the penalty, Huskies backed up inside the 20. Conklin's pass is away, and pass is almost intercepted. That was very, very close to being picked off. It was intended for Mark Kilpack, and Scott Ross almost came out of there with it, number 35.
The ball should have been caught. Watch from the left side of your screen. Kilpack, number 81. Just look to your left. There he is. He's going to turn to the outside. The ball is going to be right there, maybe a tad behind him. That's a catchable pass. And Ross almost catches it before it hits the ground.
So they're back on the 19. We're at second down and 20. Try the run with Lewis. Covington, beg your pardon. 39. 2 yards, 21-yard line. So once again, Conklin is looking at 3rd and long.
Yeah, we showed you that graphic on how tough Southern Cal's defense is. And as a quarterback or as an offensive coordinator thinking about what play to call, you say, well, where is the weakness? Where can I attack? And that is the thing about this SC defense. They really have no weaknesses.
So on 3rd and long, 18. You want a number? Conklin out of the shotgun. Gets his pass away, and it's slapped aside by 92 Don Gibson this time. The nose guard. Gibson is 6'3", Owens is 6'4", and Ryan is 6'5", along that defensive front for SC, and in that series they slapped down 2 passes.
Yeah, they did, and what they're trying to do is throw on 1st down, and then they don't want to get into these long situations. That time the problem was Conklin looked at his receiver the entire way. Gibson knew he wasn't going to get close to him, so he said, I'll just pull up here, get my hands in the air, and he did knock it down.
So once again, Southern California should get very good field position as Kenton is in to punt. He has punts at 23, 34, and 33. Trojans go after it, gets a better kick with a little pressure on him, and he runs colder back to the 34-yard line for a fair catch. So that's the poorest field position SC's had all day. We've got 9:23 to go in the first half. USC owns the football at their own 34 and leads 7-0. Trojans ranked 3rd in the nation. 5-0 against 4-1 Washington, ranked 16th in the nation. Lockwood, the tailback. And he is hit by number 39, Chico Fraley, the 205-pound inside linebacker, a redshirt freshman.
Here's a story of the game so far where USC has started their possessions. The first 2 were across the 50 in Washington's end of the field. You don't have to go very far when you start that way.
2nd and 9. Rodney Peete rolls it and throws it to the sidelines. Good. Wellman out of bounds. First down, Trojans. Tony Zachary hit him. They'll mark the ball up around the 47-yard line, and here's Mike Adams.
Keith, you mentioned heat here in the first quarter. Well, in the second quarter, really it's not that much of a factor. There had been ominous predictions about temperatures in the mid-90s, but so far it has not been a factor. It's quite nice down here. The ice bags may be doing a slow melt, but the players aren't. Ideal conditions, low 80s, nice, no humidity at all. Those Santa Ana winds have been downright benevolent. Ideal conditions for the players.
First down for USC from the 47. Feet throwing, getting pressure. Gets away one, can't get away two. Number 46. Brett Collins gets the tackle, but it was Darrell Hall, number 40, from his strong safety blitz, who made the trouble.
It's all part of the defensive strategy to try and contain Pete and not let him get outside. To the left side of your screen is 46 Collins. He's coming up in case Pete goes one way, and the other side is the other safety. Number 40 is Hall. Finally, 46 Collins comes all the way around and catches him from his blind side. Both safeties that time upfield to contain Pete.
And it's second down at about 25. Pete's pass is over the head of Gary Wellman and incomplete. Here's Al Troutman.
Keith, checking in on the other team from Los Angeles playing in Berkeley today. Troy Aikman, 53 yards to Paul Richardson. Is he wide open or what? And UCLA leads 10-0 in the first quarter. Back to you.
Speed, speed, speed with those Bruins.
Whew. They had not been throwing the ball downfield that often this year. Obviously, they did some self-scouting and decided to let Aikman throw the ball deep.
He's back on third and long. Down the middle, Affolter. Boy, is he a money player. At the Washington 49, but it's going to be short of the first down, and the man who stopped him was Eugene Burkhalter.
Here's Affolter right here. He's just going to come down and run a deep square in, and the man that hits him is Burkhalter. Burkhalter hitting Affolter. Nice route. It's called a deep square in. Pete throws it just inside of Fraley. Burkhalter puts an end to that.
And it's fourth down. Chris Spurl to punt, third of the day. It's a nice high-hanging kick. Doctor drifts under it. Back at the 8's going to try and run with it. See you later. Trojans bury him back around the 9. Resting just in between the 9-yard hash mark and the 10-yard line. That's first down Washington, and their miserable field position continues. Jenkins, about the 12. So it's about a 3-yard pickup. USC leading 7-0 with 6 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the first half. Still got it on the option. Drops the football. The Trojans recover it.
Slater, number 8, tried to get the football and had the first shot at it. He didn't come up with it. You know, we talked about Conklin and that dislocated knuckle on his thumb of his throwing hand. I don't think it's bothering him a whole lot when he's throwing, but it may be a problem when he's trying to option the ball and hold on to it. He got it knocked loose.
Bounced right into Slater's hands.
Yeah.
He lost it. So Trojans make a break. First down at the Washington 24. Pete gives to Lockwood. Lockwood bounces outside, and Burkhalter saves the touchdown. Throws him out at the 5. I'll tell you what, without Burkhalter in the defensive secondary, it might be 21-0.
Both Burkhalter and Dennis Brown playing very well. But Lockwood, who was a freshman last year, a true freshman, got some playing time, and it's a good thing because he has been needed this year.
Lockwood now has 53 yards, and it's first and goal at the Washington 5 for the Trojans. Huskers almost jumped Lockwood, the tailback, the 4, and you've got a penalty flag. Oh, yeah, maybe they did jump offside. He gets caught in the neutral zone. Sometimes with that center and quarterback are quick enough, they get a guy in there, they'll snap it. Greasy used to do that.
Well, you know, a lot of times you'll do it with your cadence and the inflection of your voice, and the guys that you would least suspect would be offsides, and that is the ones right near the ball. Let's get the call.
Offsides on the defense. Repeat first down.
Did you and Langer used to do that?
Well, we'd get the nose tackle and the inside linebackers because they were the closest, and your voice and your inflection would affect them more than people that were lined up further away.
Could be a big win for Kenny Hatfield and the Hogs in the Southwest Conference. Huh? Iowa now back to a 7-point lead over Michigan. It is now first and goal. Ball moved half the distance. They give it to Leroy Holt, and he wiggles his way down close to the 1. Five and a half minutes to go in the first half. One of the high-scoring tough teams in the Pac-10, Washington State, is down in Tucson.
He got a good quarterback, Tim Rosenbach.
Yeah.
All this talk about Aikman and Pete. Rosenbach leads the Pac-10 in passing.
I don't know if Oregon's got Musgrave back yet or not. They didn't have him last week. Jeff Brown now is in the backfield. Ball rolling around. Picked up by Leroy Holt, and the Trojans retain possession. My goodness.
I don't like that play. I don't like that play inside the 5-yard line. It's a toss down close, and it's just, you're tossing the ball back, and the guy's running forward. First of all, you got to let the fullback clear, then you toss. The tailback has to take his eyes off the ball, off the defense to catch the ball, and then look up. That time he was cheating, trying to see where the hole might be, and he never caught the football. I don't like that play inside the 5-yard line when he's coming forward toward the line of scrimmage.
They're not inside the 5 now. They're back closer to the 8. Scott Lockwood is a tailback. Pete rolls out. Brown's after him. He cuts it back up the middle, and he's going to score a touchdown. That's just plain athleticism.
Nope. No question. Take a look at it. Brown is here. Now he's going to contain as Pete rolls this way. The linebacker is going to roll here. Now there's going to be a huge hole that Pete is going to come back up inside, right where the ball was, the center was. Good containment. Watch Brown. He jumps. Now Pete looks up. There's a huge hole in the middle, and you just can't, open field, you can't catch it.
Wayne Rodriguez with a point. Every time I see Rodney Pete play, I think what a whale of a tailback he'd be in the old single wing. 14-0, Southern California. 1984, Washington came to Los Angeles unbeaten, ranked number 1 of the country. The Huskies led the game going into the final quarter, but Southern California got 10 points in that final period, a touchdown by Fred Crutcher, and 3 field goals in the game from Steve Jordan. USC beat Washington 16-7. Like Husky coach Don James says, it's not the place, but the people who live in it. And those people who live in the Coliseum or occupy it on certain Saturdays, are leading 14-0 with 4:07 to go in the first half, and kicking off to the Washington Huskies. Ooh, almost got over Doctor's head. Well, he turns it on and gets it back up to about the 23. As I mentioned earlier, our games next week will have Indiana at Michigan, and the Wolverines have got all kinds of trouble right now with the Iowa Hawkeyes down in Iowa City. And we'll see the UCLA Bruins going over to Tucson against the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats have stumbled about a couple of times when some people thought they might not. So check your local listings for the game in your area next Saturday here on ABC Sports for college football. Now Washington from the 23, trailing 14-0. Kerry Conklin back to throw the ball, gets a little heat, dumps it underneath, passes dropped by Aaron Jenkins out of the backfield. Ain't nothing going right. Randy Horde, 240-pound down lineman, he had Conklin in his sights. Kerry dumped it off, and actually there's no reason why Jenkins couldn't have caught the ball because he hit him right in the numbers.
Horde, number 66. His father was an All-American defensive lineman at Duke and played for the Rams. We'll finish that story in just a minute.
2nd and 10. Conklin, little play action, gets it off to the sidelines. That's a fine catch over there by Brian Slater for a first down out at the 38-yard line. Ball was thrown well where nobody on the defensive side could get their hand on it, and Slater hauled it in.
This has been there most of the day. It's out, just goes down about 15-18, and Conklin shows his arm. Now Hale goes for the interception. Big play man. Leads the Pac-10 with 4 interceptions, and they're going for one there.
So now the Huskies have some decent field position. Tailback Weathersby. First contact was by Cleveland Coulter.
There's Randy Horde. I was mentioning his father was an All-American defensive lineman at Duke and went on to play with the Rams. His idol was former Ram defensive lineman Merlin Olsen, who he got to know very well. He said he was a family friend since birth. He said he played Santa Claus for us at Christmas. He says, he was a big part of my life as a kid. I bet he was.
Second down, short 6. Conklin. Pass away. Incomplete. Pass intended for Slater, and defending Hale. Chris Hale plays the wide side of the field. See the field position problem that Washington has had in the first half.
Yeah, not very good.
And this season, they have been a better second half ball club than they have the first half.
Yes, they have.
So it's third down. On 5. Shotgun. Conklin doesn't seem to be bothered throwing the ball with that sore thumb. Lucky to get that one back because number 7, Mark Carrier, was all over it. Almost got it.
Carrier read the route very well the entire way. Nickname is Aircraft. He and Coulter, the other strong safety, along with Carrier, came to SC the same time, and they are a fine pair of defensive back safeties. They may be the best in the conference, and maybe they put them up for All-American. They could be.
5th punt of the game now. Coulter back to receive it. As Eric Kenton accepts the snap, gets it off. Cleveland lets it bounce, takes it. Wiggles around for a bit and gets away without taking a hit. With the bounce, it was a 40-yard punt. Leading 14-0 with 2 minutes and 32 seconds to go in the first half. USC gets dinged with a clipping penalty, which moves the ball back to near their own 9, where it's first down. Rodney Peete gives it to Scott Lockwood, and he runs it out to about the 14. Bob Willig 260-pound senior from Santa Fe Springs. Got the first hit on him.
Willie has a brother that plays for Southern Cal, so there's a Willie on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
Mike Adamley's got the parents located, and we'll visit with them as we go along here before the day's over. Second down. Lockwood again. And they'll give him the 17. So he's about 2.5 yards from the first down. Lilo Lang, the tackle. Clock running at 1:35 to go in the first half. It has not been a highlight first half for either team. Well, the Trojans finally cashed in a couple of... oh, look at this. Pete fumbles the football. Huskies all over it. And they put it down just inside the 3. First and goal, Washington.
Look who's got it. Eric, no, that's not Burkhalter. That's
Briscoe.
Briscoe.
Martin Harrison, number 56, is the big guy that knocked it loose.
Southern Cal is going for a big play here. It is third and short yardage. They fake the play. Lockwood dives over the top. Harrison is not fooled, and Rodney Pete drops the football. Washington with an excellent opportunity from its own, about 2-yard line.
With that turnover, if the Huskies can stick it in the end zone with 1:18 to play in this first half, has just really put Washington right back into the thick of things here. Because they have been a second-half football team. And carrying the ball is Tony Covington. He doesn't get there. He's just about the 2. And the Huskies now will spend the timeout as Coughlin comes to the sideline with 1:07 to play in the first half and trying to cash in opportunity.
ABC's College Football is brought to you by Hurt Plus, shampoo plus complete conditioner in one, so you just wash and go. And by Honda, who invite you to test drive the Accord Coupe at your local Honda dealership today.
Come up, hand the ball to Weathersby, and they won't give him the touchdown on second down and goal from the 2. They held him just short, and time now 54 seconds, and the Huskies call another timeout. They've got one left.
I think it's a good timeout. You've got you're down there, you need a score. Why not use your timeouts, take it over on the sideline and discuss it? Offensive coordinator Gary Pinkel is in the press box talking with Don James and the rest of the squad to get the best play in.
The ball is roughly 3 or 4 inches away from the goal line. Al Trotwood will bring you up to date on some of the games around the country with some highlights, and there have been some surprises today. The entire Washington offensive team coming to the sidelines for the huddle during the timeout.
And again, the Southern Cal defense leads the Pac-10 in every team defensive statistic.
Ball can't be more than 3 or 4 inches off the goal line. Touchdown, Washington. So the few Husky faithful here move it up a bit. Trojans turn it over, and Washington Huskies cash it in. And we got a ball game at 51 seconds to go in the first half. USC mistake has put Washington right back into it. The The extra point try from John McCallum. Conklin handles the snap. Got it down all right. And the kick is good. And so it is a 14-7 USC lead. Here's a look at the Huskies' home.
So how does she feel after she kills him? She feels like justice has finally been done in the only way she can
As the ways we learn about our world and the universe change, at the University of Washington, there's a time-honored meeting of minds that doesn't change. The University of Washington, a place of learning.
I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't some oratory in the USC locker room at halftime.
I think Southern Cal has played well defensively. Offensively, they've had great field position, and really have only scored 2 touchdowns. And I'm sure Larry Smith will have something to say to the offense. I think their special teams has played pretty well, and their defense.
Calvin Holmes, the speedster, and Gary Wellman, who can also fly, along with John Jackson, are the deep people, but they've got Holmes in the middle. He's the freshman from Carson, California, number 21. McCallum to kick it off. 51 seconds to play in the first half. It's Wellman. Had a little help to get to the sideline and stops the clock at 45 seconds to play in the first half. And he got it up to about the 27. Make it the 28.
Would you believe that Washington has outrushed Southern Cal?
Yes.
Of course, you got to subtract that 28 yards that Rodney Peete lost on the sack, but I was surprised.
And the other sack he just had a while ago when he lost the ball.
Yeah.
Wasn't a sack because he wound up a fumble. From the 28.
I just picked it up myself.
Lockwood into the middle, and apparently the Trojans are willing to run it out and go to the clubhouse leading 14-7. They'll have to run one more. Washington has a timeout to spin. USC has all 3. But they should have to snap it one more time. And now he winds it now with only 23 seconds, so they really don't have to snap the ball.
Well, this has really been a first half that Don James, I think, envisioned. It hasn't been pretty. He wants a defensive struggle. He wants a physical game, which he has certainly gotten from his defense. And he has that big, strong offensive line, and he just wants to play it conservative and stay close to the end.
Well, Pete brought his team up, but realized that he didn't have to snap it, and so he walks away, and the half is over. And at halftime, it's Southern California 14, Washington 7. Second half will be pretty good. Here's Al Trodwick.
Okay.
Back here at the Los Angeles Coliseum, Southern California leads Washington 14-7 at halftime. High school band day. Tone for the day set by the Trojan Marching Band with Buddy Rich's music. Channel 1 Suite. We now continue our weekly feature of memories from the 75-year history of the Rose Bowl. And when you remember back over 75 years, there's going to be one that's going to really jump out at you. Let's go back to the year 1929, matching California and Georgia Tech. Back in those days, they called him the Golden Tornado of Georgia Tech against the Golden Bears of California. An even game. But this man, Roy Riegels, and this play made the game famous. Tech Snuffy Thomason fumbled the ball. California center Roy Riegels picked it up and became confused about direction, running the wrong way until a teammate tackled him at the California 1. On the very next play, Vance Marie blocked a California punt for a Georgia Tech safety, and the Engineers won it 8-7, and the game was famous. And Bob Greasy, Trojan mistakes have put Washington right back in the ballgame.
They have. Rodney Peete and the offense for Southern Cal have had the ball twice as much, but they've made a couple of mistakes that have really kept Washington in the ballgame. Washington offensively has not done anything yet.
One little thing to put away. The Huskers have been a better second-half team all season.
That's for sure, and I still believe that if they're going to win this ball game, it's going to have to come from some help on the special teams.
That's where we are. It's 14-7 as we get ready to play the second half.
ABC's College Football is brought to you by the Heartbeat of America, Today Chevrolet, and by USF&G Insurance. USF&G covers the USA.
Rodney Peete warming up as Southern California will accept the Washington kickoff to start the second half of play. USC leading 14-7. A lot of opportunities frittered away by USC in that first half. And they gave the Huskers the ball on the 3. The Huskers stuck it in the end zone, and we got a ball game. At the 2, it is John Jackson. Got away from 1, got back to the 20. That's where USC will go to work. Southern California jumped out to a big lead over Oklahoma. Didn't do a thing in the third quarter against the Sooners. They jumped out to a big lead over Oregon and went quiet in the third quarter. They better not get too quiet in this third quarter. They're undefeated. They're ranked 3rd in the nation. And they start just outside the 19. Actually short of the 20. Hope and Lockwood. And it's Lockwood, the tailback. And out to the 24 for at least 4 yards on the carry. Brought down by Ricky Andrews, and here are the halftime stats.
Notice that Washington only 2 first downs in the first half. USC's 9. Both have had 2 turnovers. Of course, the critical one there near the end of the half was Rodney Peete's fumble inside their own 5, and almost twice as much possession for SC.
But they only lead where it counts on the big board, 14-7. Double wide, top of the screen. Peete gives it back to Lockwood again, and he finds daylight in the middle, runs for a first down at the 31.
Defensively, the leaders for Washington, Fraley, fumble recovery. Burkhalter has been all over the place, and Dennis Brown not making a lot of tackles, but causing a lot of problems for Southern Cal.
Brown's really been a force.
And those 3 sacks for minus 58 yards, too.
So from the 31 now, with a little room to operate, Peete goes back to throw on first down. Hooks one to the sideline to his tight end, the first pass that Scott Galbraith has seen today. And he reels it in. Markin just short of the 39. Pick up close to 8 yards. And make it second down.
Galbraith is playing for the injured Paul Green, who is out with an ankle injury. Galbraith has been playing very well. They don't lose a lot with Galbraith in there.
Emmanuel, Webster, and Irvins all banged up, not able to play today. Scott Lockwood got the start, has been in there most of the way, and he is wrestled down just over the line of scrimmage by Chico Fraley. Lockwood, 16 carries, 75 yards. Fraley has, as you saw, had 8 tackles in the first half, and he's got one here.
Yeah, number 39 to the right there from the L.A. area, is just a redshirt freshman. Has good speed, 4'6". He's one of the guys, the linebackers that they put in there to get more speed on their defense. He intercepted a pass and ran it back 79 yards earlier this year for a touchdown.
Jim Lamblatt says, I don't have any idea where he's going to go, but he makes things happen. On 3rd and short for the first down, Scott Lockwood out to the 42-yard line. So the Trojans will have 4 more snaps in this possession. Notre Dame now by 10 over Miami in the 3rd quarter. Reggie Hogue finally got, look at Nebraska. Of course, you know what, Tom Osborne and his folks, McBride, they'll go back and fuss over the 35 points.
Yeah.
But, we got a player hurt down on the field, one of the Trojans. Can't see who it is. So we've got a timeout for the injured player at 13:05 to go 3rd quarter. Mark Tucker was the Trojan for whom the timeout was taken. Cramp out of the ball game for the time being. Mark Turner, excuse me. Mark Turner. So it's first down, USC 42-yard line. They picked up 2 first downs in this possession. Pete on first down will throw it. Sideline pattern is just beyond the reach of Eric Affolter, and let's join Mike Adamle.
Before this game started today, Keith, they honored former USC athletes who distinguished themselves in Seoul, Korea at the recent Summer Olympic Games. I'm with Olympic gold medal winner in volleyball, Steve Timmons, and bronze medalist in the 110-meter hurdles, Tony Campbell. Steve, I imagine you're still on quite an emotional high.
This is great, and to come back to a USC football game is something special again.
Indeed, Tony, there is something special about USC. There's great tradition in football, but all intercollegiate athletics here in Southern California.
Definitely, and we've had a great program in track and field, and I never got to be this close to the field when I was here, so this is just a great honor for me right here.
You told me you wouldn't like to play. How about you, Steve?
These guys are huge. I don't know.
All right, Keith, they're going to stick to volleyball and track and field. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I tell you what, I watched that Timmons. He'd get up about 4 feet above the net and send that thing at you about 95 miles an hour. There was one game in the gold medal game match that he was just absolutely spectacular.
Their vertical leap is just amazing.
3rd down and 10 for Southern California. Pete's pass dumped underneath to Lockwood. The tailback dives for the marker. He's close. Very close. Depends on the spot, and I don't think he got it. Yeah, it looked to me like they have marked him just a tad short. It'll be close enough for the change, I'm pretty sure. Pat Flood is the referee, and they're going to bring him on. You'd set off a siege of Lorien here if they didn't bring the chains on, but I think it's going to be short. Just that much.
Your eyes are as good as I thought they were.
These 1,500 power glasses.
And you need them in this stadium.
They're not going to mess with it. They're going to kick it unless they fake it.
Well, Larry Brown was thinking about calling a timeout. He and his offensive coordinator, Chuck Stobert, were thinking it over. Larry Smith was with Stobert thinking about going for it, but decided not to.
They lead 14-7. Ball is just over on the Washington side of the field at the Husky 48. Spurl is in. Doctor is deep. And they snap it deep and kick it away. That's a pretty good punt, Chris. Back at the 8, 7. Ooh, goodbye. Michael Williams, number 54, laid him out inside the 10. It won't be long before Tommy Trojan will be covered. crowd will go on and guards will be posted because the UCLA-USC game looms in the future. And the Bruins have been known to resort to devious things in order to put a little blue and gold on Tommy Trojan Shield. You know, that game, November 19, is already all sold out. Rose Bowl. It's first down, Washington from the 7. Huskies have had miserable field position virtually all day. Hand the ball to Aaron Jenkins, and Aaron, a senior from Stockton, will pick up a couple of yards.
Offensively, for the Huskies, Conklin only 4 of 11 throwing the football, and their leading rusher. Southern Cal Chesley, middle linebacker, is the leading tackler.
I'm a little surprised they haven't looked at Kilpack more, Bob, the tight end.
Well, they've thrown the ball in his direction. You remember earlier he dropped one.
That's right. Weathersby, the deep man. Well, he made a nice move over there. He got away from Mark Carrier. Carrier had him pinned down right about the 11, and he shook him loose. And got on, picked up another couple of yards.
Weathersby doesn't have the great speed to get outside. We were talking with Don James yesterday, and he was telling us maybe some option and some different ways to try and get wide. That little toss was one of the ways he had planned. Weathersby, good all-purpose back, but not a lot of breakaway speed.
3rd and 5. Terry Conklin rolls it and throws it to the sidelines, and the man is out of bounds at the 22. The man being Scott Fitzgerald. He's a senior out of Boise, and he, like Brian Slater, is a big fellow, 6'4", 205.
Fitzgerald is a 2-time state sprint champion in high school. In '86, he suffered a severe compound fracture of his lower leg in a motorcycle accident, and has made a remarkable recovery. Overcoming long odds, slowly regaining some of that speed. He has a brother that plays in the NFL with the Packers.
First down, Huskies, as they get a little room here. Ride it off, keep it. Conklin turns. I think he and Aaron Jenkins actually got a little tangled up in what amounted to the belly series there.
Well, yeah, this was the option we were just talking about. A way for Washington to get outside and get wide on Southern Cal, and it was well defensed. You know, Southern Cal played Oklahoma here a few weeks ago, and they did a pretty good job of shutting down that offense. And, it looked like they were pretty good at shutting that down, too.
Well, that's still a contest between Miami and Notre Dame. They were down by 10, now by 7. They pitch that ball on a reverse. Slater's got it. And no clip. Now you get a flag. Now you get another flag.
And another one. They're all coming late.
Well, one flag was thrown across the field. He didn't make the playing field. It was still over there in the white sideline. But it looked like a clip. We may have 2 penalties. There's the clip. I guess that's all.
Take a look here. It's the reverse. He had come this way. The clip is going to come right here. Now, if you're this man right here, you got to say, I can't hit him. I got to let him go. Textbook clip right there. You know, it takes a little discipline. You want to make the block. You're coached to make the block. In practice, you've always made it. And in a game, it's just not the same as it was.
Half the distance from the previous spot. Repeat, 2nd down.
Well, Ernie Spears is over there. Ernest, number 3, plays the boundary side for Southern California's defense, and Chris Hale comes to the field side, and Spears was right in position for Slater. I don't know if it would have resulted in much anyway, but certainly it wouldn't have been as much of a reversal all the way back to the 11-yard line.
Washington running up the middle much more than it's running outside the tackles, right and left. Not having much success at any of it.
2nd and long. 3 long. Weathersby there's too many Trojans on that boundary side. There's just no room with all of those Cardinal shirts filling Junior Seau. Tackle. Still 14-7. Look at that. Score 42 points and you're losing in Lincoln by 21.
Over 100 points in the ball game, huh? How would you like to be on the kickoff team?
Third down and 19 now. Conklin buying time out of the shotgun. Gets his pass downfield. No. Intended for Pierce. Aaron Pierce defending Wayne Garner as the Trojans had the nickelback in the ball game. And the Huskies will have to punt it. And once again, Southern California should have good field position.
Just good defense, Keith, and you got to give credit. Chris Allen, the defensive coordinator, who has done a nice job of blending these young Trojans. There's only one senior on the starting 11, and that is Chris Hale. All the other ones will be back, and they'll have a good defense again next year.
Now Cleveland Coulter is standing just over midfield. Eric Kenton standing back just in his end zone. Kicks it from the 4. Coulter can't get to it. That's short. Finally picks it up on the roll, thinking he might catch somebody half asleep. Pop a big one. It's only 33-yard punt. A 3-yard return, so a net of only 30 yards. Does that mean that includes at minus 20 the sacks, the losses by Pete, huh? Not an imposing stat for Southern California.
They had 3 big sacks for losses.
From the Husky 43, though, Lockwood finds some daylight. Penalty flag goes down from the referee's bucket following the run. So let's see what the penalty call is. Holding Trojans, another mistake. Larry Smith yesterday said this about his team's performances in the third quarter.
We don't have that total killer instinct yet. I think it's improved the past few weeks because when we've gotten big plays or big breaks in the game, we've turned them into points, and I think that's been a real key the last 2 to 3 weeks.
Holding during the run, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat, first down.
So far today, the Trojans have been mistake-laden offensively.
There was a hold on the right guard, Mark Tucker. Larry Smith has never lost.
Well, that was the 6th time, Bob, they have started a possession inside Washington territory. They have scored only twice.
The 6th time. And they've scored 2 touchdowns.
Yep. First down, the ball comes back to the Washington 49 after the penalty. And Calvin Holmes in the lineup for USC. And he picks up about 3 yards down to the 46.
Fraley and Andrews, both the middle linebackers. Andrews is playing with a cast on his hand, his right wrist. He dislocated a thumb. You see it on his right forearm and dislocated a thumb. He's a Pac-10 leading tackler. He's from Hawaii. Jim Lambright, the defensive coordinator, recruits that area, and I asked him, I said, how do you get that duty? He says, seniority.
Yeah, Jimmy played there and has been there a long time.
Yeah, beats Hawaii.
Second down, about 13. Pete options, flips it out. Holmes has it, gets a block on the corner, but second man knocks him down. Second man being Eugene Burkhalter. Mr. Burkhalter. Oh, he's got a bright future in front of him. Well, Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills are going to find out what they're made out of, I expect, as they take on the New York Jets, the top 2 teams in the AFC East. Bill sitting up there on top. And they'll have at it on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football at 9 Eastern Time. Monday. Pete, little quick one. Flipped out to Galbraith, the tight end. Galbraith is still going. Tackle missed, and Galbraith dives. Touchdown, USC.
coverage because of the blitz on the outside. The safety was blitzing to contain Rodney Peete. That forces the linebacker to cover the tight end. It's a mismatch. The throw is on the mark from Peete, and Galbraith gets into the end zone.
And suddenly a bolt of lightning from the Trojan offense. And Quinn Rodriguez trying to make it 21-7. And does. At 6 minutes and 58 seconds to play, third quarter.
In the attempt to try and keep Peete in the pocket, the outside, the strong safety is going to blitz right here. The tight end is going to come out in the flat, forcing the inside linebacker to try and get out and cover him from an inside position. Strong safety blitzes, the tight end gets out, he's got a 3-yard gain on him, and it's a foot race, and Galbraith is going to win.
Peete enjoyed what he saw.
You know,
not a whole lot of emotion.
Well, no, but he's been there before. You know, you act like you've been there before, you don't get all excited. But the point is, the defense, and Stobart, the coordinator for SC, was telling me this yesterday. He said, we've seen a different defense every week we've played. Everybody comes up with a new defense for Rodney Peete. That time, they took a man out of coverage off of the tight end to contain Rodney, and Pete Burden, when the inside linebacker had to cover the man that was left open.
And it was worth 7 points. It is 21-7, Southern California now, as Mark Preston will kick off, and watch where Doctor and Jones will. They're standing on the 10 now, and they'll fudge up a little more. Preston has not kicked the ball deep. Gets this one down to the 15. It's caught on the 16 by Steve Jones. Oh my goodness. He had a hole and tripped as he burst out of it. Otherwise, he might still be running. Jeff Brown was the fellow who got a piece of him as he went by and knocked him off balance.
He tripped over his own man.
Could be. Anyhow, the ball is out across the 35, and it's first down Washington. Let's see now if the Huskies can respond. They go to the one-back offense now. Aaron Jenkins behind Terry Conklin. On the throw. Has a man. That's Weathersby, who went out on the flanker and picks up about 8 yards before Chris Hale and Cleveland Coulter bring him down.
Scott Galbraith on the sideline, telling everybody how I did it. Just run out there, Rodney gives me the ball, and I run.
Second and 2. Inside to the fullback, and he will not get the first down. The big people in the down position stuffed that play. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Huskies offensively came into this game ranked 8th out of 10 teams in offense in the Pac-10, so they weren't tearing it up. As I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, that Conklin is the only new starter at quarterback in the Pac-10. Got a lot of potential.
They need some of it right now. 3rd and 1. He loops his way behind his center. Prostek. Looks like he may have it, but not by a whole bunch.
Terry Conklin is a tough kid. They wanted to redshirt him. James wanted to redshirt him last year, and they had to play him. He was a middle linebacker in high school. He's kind of a laid-back country boy. Enjoys the fishing and the hunting, and he's getting better each week.
When you live up there, middle of the state, Yakima, that's can't help get exposed to those pleasures. Trips one downfield. It is off the hands. Chris Hale, who should have caught it.
That was intercepted for a while, whether or not he had possession of it.
But it was right there.
Yeah, that was one of the easiest ones he's had this year. That was bobbling at the end. Just can't hold on to it. He didn't expect it. That's Slater who finally gets a piece of it and knocks it away. That ball was thrown behind Slater, and one of the easier opportunities for Chris Hale. He's already intercepted 4 this year.
Remember, though, Conklin dislocated the top knuckle in his thumb on his throwing hand on Wednesday. Got to be sure. Want to throw again.
Yes.
Going down the middle. He's got it. Slater, touchdown, Huskies, no flag. Burned Hale that time.
Hale actually was in great shape to make the play and made the effort for the interception, and the ball just went right through his hands. Take a look at the protection. That big offensive line of the Huskies, a play-action fake. Now he's waiting. There's no free safety in the middle. It's one-on-one. Now watch Hale. He should have had it. That's 2 plays in a row he should have intercepted. Doesn't make the play, and the Huskies are on the board.
54 yards. McCallum for the extra point. Out of Conklin's hold, and it's good. And with 5 minutes and 4 seconds to go in the third quarter, it's 21-14.
Yeah, 6'4" against 5'9" Hale, but look at the leap. Hale does exactly what he's supposed to do. Cuts in front of him at the right time, the highest point. He just didn't catch the football.
Brian Slater with a big play. He's caught 3 passes, 89 yards, 3 first downs, and now a touchdown. And the Huskies are back in it. Say it again, they have been a good second half team. Trojans had popped one 41-yard play to Galbraith. Looked like they were back on easy street. Washington comes right back. And this is John Jackson. John's across the 20. Next Sunday, ABC Sports offers the oldest international turf race in the United States. Thoroughbred Classic, the Budweiser International from Lowell, Maryland. Then you'll see the Boston Celtics in Europe in the McDonald's Basketball Open from Madrid, Spain. All of it begins live except on the West Coast at 2:30 Eastern, 1:30 Central and Pacific. That'll be next Sunday on ABC Sports. The Celtics in Madrid?
That's just what I was going to say, basketball.
Well, David Stern thinks this is one of the first major steps in expanding the interest of basketball to an international basis. He sees this as a very important thing.
Yeah.
22-yard line for the Trojans. First down. David, of course, being the commissioner. This is Leroy Holt. I'd called him Leroy a couple of times, and he passed the word that his name was Leroy.
Now, Leroy has done a nice job. He came to SC as a fullback, and fullbacks at Southern Cal don't carry the ball very often. They block a lot. This year, he's been carrying the ball quite a bit. In fact, is the second leading rusher on the ball club.
Second down and 8.
One of the leaders also on that offensive team.
Pete throwing. Underneath, Lockwood. First down at the 34. Ricky Andrews and Chico Fraley. Got him. 7 points for the Irish. UCLA. The Bruins getting a little tussle from California. And the explosion is over in Lincoln. Clemson and Duke at halftime. Duke undefeated coming into that ball game. Steve Spurrier doing a good job.
Yes, he is.
First down. Trojans, their own 34, leading 21-14. Lockwood, left side. Big hole. Still going. Scott Lockwood is fast. He is not a quick kind of running back. But once he gets some room, he can turn it on, and he turned it on there.
doesn't have that breakaway speed, but he's got enough savvy and enough quickness. Watch the offensive line block it. Coming around. That's Barnes, 68, and Guerrero, 61. Right here, he's going to play off the tackle of, that's Burkhalter, who we've been having some great hits all day. And finally, Lilo Lang is going to toss him out of bounds.
That's the first tackle that Burkhalter's missed all day, and it's first down at the Washington 26. And he'll give it a Holt in the middle. And he'll take it to 22, where Poole and Andrews bring him down. The number on Lockwood now, 18 carries as he goes out for a breather for 123 yards. Picked up 41 on that last carry. Jackson comes in from the sidelines, number 1 with a play. Wellman will leave. Time you see remaining there in the third quarter. Second down and 7, just short of the Washington 22. Holmes, as the tailback, has the ball. Got a crack in the middle, but the Huskers react to it pretty quickly and shut him down just short of the 18-yard line. Colvis and Fraley. And you got a Husky hurt. That is Fraley, hurt on the play.
Take a look at Fraley, 39, the top, the linebacker. There's a hole. He's going to fill the hole. That's what linebackers do. He steps right up in there. Really see, maybe it's really hard to
Brown
tell.
fell on top of him.
Yeah.
That might have been the problem.
He may have maybe have a pinched nerve. Hopefully that's all it is. That's not a serious injury. Sometimes you get a burner in your neck and
say you
come off that way. Yeah, that's true. I mean, as compared to other injuries.
Well, it's not a lasting thing, at least.
Yeah.
Lockwood comes back at tailback now for USC. Third down and 3. Near the Washington 18. They'll give it to Lockwood, and the young man from Boulder will have a first down. It appears. Scott lost his shoe trying to put it back on. James Clifford made the hit on him. And does he have it? No, he does not. Fourth down, and the better part of maybe half a yard.
It's fourth and about a half a yard, as you mentioned. I said earlier, SC leads the Pac-10 in converting third down conversions. This is a little more critical.
Holt and Lockwood behind Pete. Lockwood, and he's got it at the 15. Real estate is very expensive in California. You must pay for it. And Lockwood did pay, but he still got what he won't need it.
It's expensive in Washington, too, and it's tough to get real estate against this defense. The strength of this Washington team up front, the defensive line, always a very physical game when these two teams meet.
Well, Michigan still trailing Iowa by 7. Indiana was a winner. Some of you will see that one next week. Indiana at Michigan. Big game in the Big Ten. Holmes is back in at tailback. Rodney Peete has the ball, goes to the sideline. The pass is caught by Gary Wellman, 175-pound sophomore from Westlake Village.
All right, the Boilermakers, huh? Rolling.
They won.
Things are not good in Columbus. John Cooper. He'll
Tennessee
have that.
Is 0-6.
Yeah, 0-6.
First time in the history of the university.
Can't believe that game there. Auburn and Akron.
Akron?
Did you schedule that game?
No. I did not. Second down and 2. Home. Oh, my goodness. He's tripped. He was almost gone. Just short of the 5. That is not a first down. So it is third and about a length of the football. Travis Richardson comes out for the Huskies, holding his arm. Now he turns right around and goes back. Lockwood is back in at tailback for USC. Pete, first down. Trojans first and goal, Washington 4-yard line, with 46 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Offense playing a little better here in the second half than it did in the first half, and they've been forced to, because Washington hit them with a touchdown, 54-yarder. First down from the 4. This is Lockwood. Touchdown.
Offensive line of Southern Cal come off the ball. Barnes, Guerrero, Leggett gets a nice block on the linebacker, number 63.
Rodriguez, extra point is good, with 29 seconds to play in the third quarter.
He said, "Do we have to do this again?"
I never see that white horse come out of the tunnel. I don't think about Aaron Parsekian. He almost ran over a still photographer down on the track, too.
What was the score of the day that Era made that comment about the horse?
Well, it was 24-6 at halftime, Notre Dame, and 55-24 final, USC. Every time that Charlie White scored, that white horse would come roaring around. And Aaron went home. He had nightmares about that for weeks. We've got a fire somewhere in the area of downtown Los Angeles. See black smoke rising up down there. I hope it's nothing serious. Not very far from here. Lockwood now has 129 yards on 22 carries, as he's carrying most of the load today with so many tailbacks hurt. The kickoff by Preston goes to Jones at the 10. Jones looks for something outside and comes back to about the 24. And he is wrestled down. Rodney Peete on the day, if you're following his numbers, 13 out of 19 for 160 yards and 1 touchdown. But right now, the man under the gun is Kerry Conklin, down by 14 points. USC, third ranked, undefeated, trying to stay that way against the stubborn Huskies. Kilpack, the tight end, shifts over. That leaves Fitzgerald wide at the top, and Conklin to throw it. Comes this way with it. The pass caught by Jenkins, and Aaron Jenkins picks up. How about 8 yards on that play? Maybe 9. And time gone, third quarter. So after 3, and a key ball game in the Pac-10 Conference. Southern Cal 28, Washington 14. Second down and 2. High drama going in our truck. They're trying to define the Willick brothers. They got 2 96s, and they can't figure out which one.
Does he have a mustache?
I tell them. Second down and 2. Huskies need this one to keep the ball. Down by 14. Going into the fourth quarter. Kerry Conklin, a little quick pop caught by Fitzgerald. He's got the first down. thing now is to lay down before they take the ball away from him. And he's up around the 44, 45-yard line. If you get in there and get to wrestling around and flailing too much, it's very easy to lose that football.
Yes, sir. When the whistle blows, everything is supposed to stop, but that's not always the way it works when you're out there with a group of young men who are fired up to play this game.
First down from the 45. Terry Conklin throwing sideline, caught by Kilpack, sliding catch, picked up about 3-4 yards on the play. Here's Mike Adamle.
Well, there is a brother tandem in this game. Keith on the left of your screen, Matt Willick, the freshman from USC. On the right of your screen, Bob Willick, the senior from Washington. And I found their parents in the stadium. Both wear number 96. My question to you, Chuck Willick, is who do you root for?
Whoever's winning at the time.
Take the easy way well.
Yeah, we're easy.
How about what's the mother's concern? Who do you go for?
I think you go for 96 in this case, and you play neutral.
Genevieve and Chuck Willick playing it safe all the way.
On the defense, enforced from the end of the run, first down.
So the Trojan defense, somebody got a little carried away, roughed Conklin. And it is a big penalty because now the Washington Huskies own the football, first down at the USC 36.
Your stats after 3 quarters. Look at the first downs, only 5 for Washington. And the number of plays, 20 more plays for Southern Cal than Washington has run.
But a zap right here, and it's a 7-point game. Conklin's going to put it up. Goes underneath. Oh, look at this. Tackle is missed, and Jenkins is inside the 25, down at the 24. Cleveland Coulter missed him.
Yeah. He doesn't miss many tackles. He may have been thinking maybe I'm going to try and step in front of him and intercept it, but he missed. Let's take another look at it from low angle. A semi-roll to his left. Help the offensive linemen get angles on their blocking assignments. Now there's number 8, Coulter. Oh, he just tried to block him instead of tackle him. He doesn't get it.
Oh, sure. And it's first down Washington at the SC 24. Conklin, buying time, comes back the other way, sets up a screen for Weathersby. And he certainly makes something out of it. He's inside the 10 at the Trojan 8. Good job.
Slow screen. They're going to roll away. Here's Weathersby here. All the action is going to be away. He's going to sneak back out here, and 2 of the offensive linemen will come out to help. He sits in there, tries to get lost. Now you see in front of him now. He's got 2 white shirts. It's well set up. Southern Cal gets back in a hurry.
First and goal for the Huskies. They've rolled out some new ribbon. I don't believe this party is over. Conklin's pass is incomplete off the hands of the tight end, Kilpack. Ball was right on his hands.
It sure was. Most of Conklin's passes have been right there. There you go, a little in and out by Kilpack. And watch this throw. Junior Conklin playing for his first time this year with any regular amount of time. He's only thrown 1 interception in over 105 passes. That's a key for a quarterback. Don't turn it over.
Second down and goal from the 8 for Washington. That's into the corner. Slater, touchdown Husky. He beat Chris Hale.
Mismatch that we've been talking about. Slater is 6'4" and has that big play potential to go up and make it. Hale is only 5'9". The top of your screen. This is one-on-one. You can forget about the other 20 players on the field. Hale has been right there all day. It just has not made the play. Nice play for Slater. Conklin giving him plenty of air, giving him a chance to jump for the ball. Big touchdown for the Huskies.
Now McCallum trying to make it a 7-point game. Good. So 13:05 to go in the ball game. And the Huskies fight back and trail by only 7. Well now, 13:05 to play in this ball game. Ron Slater's second touchdown. Got the Huskies back in the hunt. Burden shifts now to the Trojan offense. Calvin Holmes will be the man in the middle of the field for Southern California to accept the kickoff.
John McCallum will kick off.
I don't think Don James wants McCallum to kick the ball to Holmes. He's got Jackson and Wellman back there with him. They're all speechless.
USC has not done well in kickoffs this year. They rank last in the Pac-10 in returning kickoffs.
Let's see which way McCallum takes it. My gosh, they're going to challenge him. It goes right to Holmes at the 6. No wedge, though, and he's down around the 23-yard line. Southern California will have Lockwood and Holt in the backfield behind Pete. Affolter 42, Jackson number 1 wide, Galbraith 86 the tight end. Galbraith has a touchdown on a 41-yard play. Too early to get conservative. Wide to Lockwood, cuts it back, gets a sizzling block, and a penalty flag goes down. The umpire let that one go, and it's against USC for holding. So that's a deflator on first down.
And you know, when the umpire throws it, who lines up just behind the defensive line, and he is looking primarily for holding in the offensive line.
Washington has got Southern California
on the offense. Repeat first down.
Pretty much in the kind of a game they, I think, had hoped for. Maybe more points have been scored than they would like, but still, it's only a 7-point margin with almost 13 minutes to play.
They're into the fourth quarter, and they're only down by 7, and on the road, they couldn't ask for more than that.
Rodney Pete hands off to Lockwood, and Lockwood is swung for the Huskies right about the line of scrimmage. The final score from South Bend, Notre Dame beats Miami, number 1, 31-30. Miami scored, went for 2 to win, didn't get a pass complete. Lockwood hobbles off the field for Southern California. And for those of you who are shifting over from the Irish win over Miami, I'll bring you up to date here. USC went out to a 14-0 lead. The Huskies got a gift at the close of the first half on a Trojan fumble at the 3 and scored, 14-7 then. USC back to 21-7. Washington answered on a 54-yard play to make it 21-14. 28-14 USC, and the Huskies come right back. And it's 28-21, and this is Calvin Holmes for Southern California after they were dinged for a 10-yard holding penalty. Burkhalter runs Holmes out of bounds at about the original line of scrimmage. So UCLA leading California by 21 in the third quarter, ranked 2nd in the nation, figures to move up to number 1. Southern California started the game today ranked number 3 in the country, and Notre Dame in most places was 4. Al Trotwood will show you the play that decided the ball game in just a moment. Right now it's third down and about 10 for Southern California, and they've got all they can handle right here with these Huskies. Rodney Pete rolls out, dumps it off underneath. Leroy Holt, a fullback, cannot get the first down at the 31, and here's Al Trotwood.
All right, Keith, after tying the game with a spectacular 4th and 7 pass, or coming within 1 point, I should say, Steve Walsh goes for 2 points. It's blocked by Pat Terrell, and Notre Dame wins over Miami by 1. Back to you.
So, another unbeaten Falls. Pretty hard to go undefeated these days in college football. Chris Spurl is in now to punt on 4th down and 3. And William Doctor standing back deep for Washington. Huskies should get field position here. Spurl spins it. Doctor will try for it. And goes down around the 36. 36-yard punt, no return, with 10:57 to play in the game. Well, here we go to the final 10:57 of the ball game. USC leading 28-21. Washington's ball, first down at their own 34. Kerry Conklin sets with a one-back alignment. Goes back to throw the ball. Has good protection. Throws to Greg Lewis. Lewis is stopped just short of the 40 for a 6-yard pickup. Conklin in his last 9 attempts in the ball game after a so-so first half, 8 of 9 for 120 yards, 4 first downs, and 2 touchdowns. So he has warmed to the task, sore hand and all. Keeps it, flips it out. Lewis runs into 3 Trojans. He got something out of it. He went over Hale. Chris Hale has been burned today. They've been picking on Chris at 5'9". They've hit him for 2 touchdowns and another play in which he should have had an interception and didn't get it. As we come to the conclusion of today's game, we will pick most valuable player from each of the teams. Chevrolet continuing an 18-year tradition, donating a $1,000 scholarship in each player's name to the General Scholarship Fund of the respective universities. It is third and almost 4 yards. Conklin is going to run it. Won't get it. Didn't get it. Very good pursuit by 35, Scott Cross. Good grief. 7 points. Well, Michigan was 17-3 down. They were down by 14 to Iowa at one time. They've come back to tie. Now the Huskies will punt. Not going to go for it on 4th down and 2. We've still got 8 minutes and 45 seconds to play in the ball game. And the Washington defense has been handling the Trojans lately. That's maybe the best kick of the day right there. Cleveland Coulter, however, can't get it as the ball comes down in inverse. And the Trojans will take over at their 27. Well, the Trojans come up. Guerrero, Barnes, Leggett, Tucker, Parkinson. The big people up front now have got to do a job. 2 fullbacks in the backfield, Holt and Jeff Brown, 43. Rodney Peete sets him and gives it to Holt. And Leroy turns it back inside and hammers in there for about 4 yards. Here's Mike Adamle.
Well, Steve, here's your Giles Pellerin update. In case you don't know, Mr. Pellerin, he has seen every single University of Southern California football game, home and away, since 1926. How many games exactly now?
This is number 672.
Incredible. 672. How much money have you spent over the years traveling to Trojans games?
Oh, probably around $80,000.
And what's really amazing, Keith, is brother Oliver now at 454?
Right. Yeah, Oliver, his string was broken because he was in the military service. But he's got his string going now. He's got 464 games.
Seeing a good football game today.
Right. Right. I just hope we can hold on.
Okay, John. Keep it going strong.
I shall. I'll see you at the Notre Dame game.
You got it. Keith?
Well, the Washington defense handling Southern California so far in this series. It's third down and about 6. Lockwood is back in. They go to a split back, but it figures pass here. This is Pete's play. Dumps it off to Lockwood. Dive for the chains. He's past the marker. He's got a first down up at the 45-yard line, 46-yard line. They've had to go a couple of pages deeper into their playbook today, Bob.
That was just a screen pass. They wanted to get a screen, something safe. To watch the back here. He's just going to go out to the flat. But watch the wide receiver come down and block right here as the ball is being thrown. He's just going to go back to safe. But you see the wide receiver blocking before the ball is thrown, but it's legal if the ball is thrown behind the line of scrimmage.
Lockwood now has caught 5 passes, 41 yards. He's been a workhorse today. First down Trojans just outside the 46, and Calvin Holmes in at tailback, down after a yard. And it's Chico Fraley. One more tackle for Chico. He left after getting nicked, but he's back. Time remaining 6.5 minutes. 28-21, Southern California. Dennis Brown, that big defensive tackle for Washington, he's got the dirtiest shirt in town now. He's been flying all over the place all day. Wringing wet, warm day. On the floor of the Coliseum, Pete's pass is pulled in by Eric Affolter. And that's a pickup of 6 yards.
Affolter was an outstanding receiver in high school, also quite a place kicker. In fact, even though Rodriguez is the place kicker on this Southern Cal team, Rodriguez has kicked a 61-yard field goal in high school. Affolter has kicked a 64-yarder. So anytime they kick long field goals, it's Affolter that will try.
Yeah, he warms up before the game. Third down, make it a 7-yard pickup. Third down and about 3. Pitch goes to Lockwood. And Scott just short of the marker. Half a yard or so. You got 4th down now. They're going to kick. Spurl is in.
A big defensive play for the Huskies. You know, this is the area of the field, if you have a punt fake, that you use it. But I don't think in this situation that Larry Smith will use it. He's got 5 minutes to play, punt the ball, get them deep in their own territory, and play defense.
He's leading by 7. Oh, snap, bobbled by Spurl, but he gets it away. And it goes into the end zone. That was one of his better kicks of the day. 45 yards after he caught it on the mountain. Well, it is put up time for the Huskies right here. First down at their own 20, trailing 28-21, 4:39 to play in the game. And Conklin sets it and drops to throw. Sideline, in it. Tight end, Kilpack. Mark trying to get back to the marker. And he did. And then he got some more.
Slater was going deep to take the corner on that side out of the play, and the tight end just kind of snuck in behind where the flanker was clearing out, and a nice throw by Conklin.
21-yard pickup in total. And first down. Drops the ball. He dropped the ball. I expect that's that sore hand. He dislocated first knuckle in his right hand thumb Wednesday in practice. Coming back to that time, he just plain dropped the ball, and we go inside 4 minutes to play, and the loss is all the way back to the 30.
He was faking. Right there, he just fakes and gets the ball a little bit too close. The fullback hits it, tries to hang on to it, and it's a big loss.
11-yard loss. Second down, 21. Got him. Lost his balance, and Craig Hartziker knocks him down back on the 22. So it'll be third down and 29.
Hartziker is having a heck of a year. He's second in the Pac-10 in tackles for losses, coming in with 9, and he has caused 3 fumbles already this year. 2 big mistakes by Conklin.
Before those 2 plays, Washington had not lost a yard all day, and we go inside 3 minutes to play. Don James wondering what in the world is going on, guys. You want to go the other way. Conklin gets it off, and Slater makes the catch up around the 41, the original line of scrimmage, and that time Chris Hale didn't mess with the ball at all. He just put his hat on number 8 and took him down.
That was a smart play by Hale. He didn't need to intercept it. They're going to have to punt the ball anyway.
Timeout, Washington.
So that'll bring up 4th down at about 10 at 2:26 to play in the game, and the entire Washington offensive unit comes to the sideline on the timeout to talk about whether or not to go for it. It is 4th down for the Huskies and 10 from their own 41. They will go for it.
Well, it makes sense, because if you did punt the ball away here on 4th and 10, even though you have 3 timeouts left, you may never get the ball back. With well, I know, but before that timeout, you would have had 3. You would have punted it away. You may never get it back with this SC offense.
2:26 to go in the game. Home folks get into it a bit. Conklin rolls to buy time, throws. Fitzgerald reels it in at the 46 of Southern California, and a first down for the Huskies.
It's going to be a sprint out. There's 2 wide receivers to his left side. They're both go down, and one of them, they just go opposite directions. They cross to scrape Gardner, number 9, off on the other receiver. Nice play and a crucial pickup of a first down.
Carey threw a knuckleball, but it worked.
Didn't matter, did it?
Nope. Easier to catch. So from the Trojan 46, the Huskies are still alive. 2:20 to play in the game. 28-21, USC. Conklin's pass down the middle, caught by Kilpatrick. Down at the USC 38. It'll be second down and 2. Conklin has hit 12 of his last 13 passes.
I'm impressed with Conklin. I told you that a couple weeks ago at UCLA when he came back. He throws the ball well. He doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't throw balls for interceptions. He's only thrown 1 or 2 here today that were poorly thrown, even though he's had that knuckle that was dislocated earlier in the week.
Play action. Goes big. Going to the bundle. Touchdown, Slater! Third time today that Slater has beaten Chris Hale.
Man-to-man on the outside. They've gone short a number of times. Now Slater, who has got good speed and 7 inches, 6'4" to 5'9" on Hale. The ball is well thrown. Only Slater can get his hands on it, and a big play for the young quarterback. Great catch by Slater.
Whoa. Big catch. And you know now Washington has to go for 2 and to win.
Washington already has 1 loss in the conference.
Well, they don't have to. But a loss and a tie might put them in jeopardy because they've already lost to UCLA.
Right.
And in the tie-breaking process, if the Bruins were to lose a game, it would still fall to UCLA's favor because they defeated Washington. So the Huskies pick on Chris Hale, and Chris doesn't have the best day of his career. Huskies now with 1 timeout remaining, and it's going to be a try for 2.
I think you got to do what he did on 4th down, and that is get outside the pocket, break containment where you've got more time than normal. Plus, you can see better when you're outside and you don't have all these defensive linemen in your face. So really look for him to get outside the pocket. They're putting it on the left hash mark. Look for him to roll to the right side. He can run, too. He's a big, tough kid. 6'4", 215.
Here it comes. A couple of undefeateds have already fallen today. It'll come fast. No, intended for Weathersby. Scott Ross was covering Weathersby.
He threw it too soon. Watch now. Here's Weathersby right here. The man that's covering him is right here. Both these wide receivers are going to come in trying to scrape that man off of him as Weathersby goes out here. He's going to roll a little bit, and he's just going to throw it a little bit too far to the outside. 2 wide receivers come in. Just doesn't throw it far enough.
He'd been awaited 2 seconds. Touchdown. 2-point conversion. One of these days, the coaches are going to okay a tiebreaker. If we had such a rule, we'd be tied probably right now looking at overtime.
Well, I think that's why they talked about it a few years back, or whenever they put in that 2-point conversion and said, well, we've got the 2-point conversion, we won't have many ties. And of course, the NFL has just gone the opposite way. They don't want the 2-point conversion, but they go in.
All right, here we go with all the backs, receivers, defensive backs. They're up expecting an onside kick. You know what I'd do right here? I'd call a fair catch. There's nothing to stop you. Maybe it reduces, I think, at this point of the game, some of the danger.
Well, fair catch if he kicks it on the ground, you can't go.
Well, that's right. But if it gets up in the air,
yeah.
They stood there and waited for the ball to come to them. You don't have to do that. You can go get it while it's still bouncing on the ground. And they're still fighting over possession.
That was a good kick, Keith, and I think he kicked it too hard for anybody to come up and attack it.
USC's got it.
Everybody from Washington is on our right side. He kicks that ball too hard to attack. It's in the air. It's all you can expect. And now it's a man scramble, and it looks like Wellman, number 83, got on the football.
Yes, he did, because Affolter's batting him on the back. And that could be the ball game right there with 1:38 to play and Southern California leading 28-27. But I still, for the life of me, don't know why the people receiving the football don't go get it. I asked Larry Smith that question about 3 weeks ago. He looked right at me and said, I can't explain it. I don't know. They don't have to wait for it to go 10 yards. The kicking team does. This is Lockwood wrapping both arms around the ball and just sticking his helmet in the crowd. Start the clock spinning. The Huskies have 1 timeout remaining.
Let's take another look. I think if that ball takes a big bounce, or a good bounce, you know, a Sunday hop, then you attack it. Right there. Attack it when it gets that big hop. But if you wait for it, the defense is going to get there. The kicking team will get there. But sometimes it's kicked too hard, you can't. But if you get a Sunday hop, then you can go get it.
Wellman was the man, 83, that went in and curled his body around the ball.
Yeah. Here's another look from the top.
Washington is going to be one of the better teams in this country with 2 losses, I'll tell you that.
Well, I'm impressed with Conklin. Once he gets a little bit more of a feel, he's a good player right now. There's a look at Wellman, who got that fumble. I mean, got the onside kick.
The MVPs. This is the way the call goes for Washington. Chico, no, not Fraley, but Brian Slater. Chico Fraley had 20 tackles or some such thing, but Slater, with his spectacular catch for the touchdown that afforded the opportunity to win. 6 catches, 155 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Brian. For Southern California, the workhorse, Scott Lockwood, 26 carries, 131 yards, and a touchdown, and he caught 5 balls for 41 yards. Chevrolet giving $1,000 to each of the universities in the names of those players for the General Scholarship Fund. Rodney Peete gives it again to Lockwood, and he goes to midfield with it. The clock is still rolling at 1:25. And here is the play involving Conklin to Brian Slater. Slater making the catch over 5'9" Chris Hale.
This is the play that brought him within 1 point. Set up the 2-point try. You can't throw it any better than that.
And here it appeared that Kerry Conklin might have thrown the ball a little too soon. Weathersby going out there, and Scott Ross trying to cover him if he'd have waited 2 steps. Might have worked. Pete's going to throw it. I can't believe it. Maybe he didn't intend to throw it at all. He's just killing time. Martin Harrison running around, finally ran him down. You got 40 seconds now, and the clock's still running. And the Huskies have no more timeouts. They cannot stop the clock.
Well, if the play does, if they do have to punt it, you got to go for the block.
Why would you punt it?
Well, I was going to say, if maybe you have to punt it because of the 25-second clock. I don't know.
It's a 9-second difference? Well, I guess that's enough to warrant the kick, isn't it? 9 seconds. Depends on when he wound it, and he wound it with a 9-second differential between the game clock and the 25 seconds.
8 seconds.
Dead ball, play of game, on the offense.
Well, a 5-yard penalty at this point doesn't mean a thing to Southern California.
Yeah. Now this is all he has to do is punt the football and SC wins. Larry Smith told us yesterday that his special teams has been the worst that he has ever had since he's been coaching.
Well, in saying that now, what if somebody catches it and keeps running for a while?
To 12 seconds.
Catches
they
what?
got Trojans got to tackle that Husky that catches the ball.
Oh, well, if they block the punt is what I'm saying.
It's going to be 12 seconds. They want 3 seconds put back on the clock.
Yeah. You know, it's ironic, too, because Larry Smith has always had good special teams wherever he has been. At Arizona, he had terrific special teams.
Now the Trojans have had their huddle, spending a timeout to talk about things.
You're right. If there was only 1 or 2 or 3 seconds, the punter could just take the ball and run around before he gets tackled. But with 12 seconds, if he did that, it wouldn't work. The ball would go over.
Chris Spurl has never had a punt blocked in his 4 years. Well, the Huskies gave it all-out try, and Spurl let it fly. He hits a huge punt, and a fair catch is called by William Doctor back at the Washington 13. That was a 51-yard punt when the Trojans sorely needed it.
Well, they didn't need that. They just needed him to get it off, and that's all he was thinking. Just, I don't care if it goes 10 yards, 15 yards, just get rid of it.
So with 6 seconds now, Washington will have one more shot. The executive producer of ABC's College Football, Jeffrey Mason. Today's game produced by Bob Goodrich, directed by Larry Cam. Our technical director, Gary Larkin. Associate director, Jack Graham. Tech manager, Doug Brencher. Spotter, Todd Barry. Dave Burnson, our stats. Unit manager, Joe Alvarado. Jimmy Ressler, assistant producer. Jim Fager, the Frank Fager, the telecommunications manager. Green with us in the booth. And Conklin out of the shotgun. Getting pressure, gets his pass off. Slater trying to come back to it. Couldn't hold it, and the game is over. So the Southern California Trojans stay undefeated just barely, beating Washington 28-27. On ABC ABC's NFL Monday Night Football. The top teams in the AFC East, the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. Next Saturday, ABC's college football. The Hoosiers of Indiana against the Michigan Wolverines, or the UCLA Bruins against the Arizona Wildcats. Check local listings for the game in your area.